Great. Thank you very much, Martin. Some really amazing look at transmedia and how it can sort of start to shape a narrative and a dialogue. I'm going to invite Francois and Martin back on stage briefly. I'd like to try to keep us a little bit on time, so remember that there's going to be another panel at, I believe, 11:50 today, where we'll get a chance to talk not only again with Martin and Francois, but some of the other panelists from the next session. However, I want to give a small chance for folks to have a small bit of dialogue, maybe just a question or two, concerning some of the topics that we heard this morning, things around narrative and culture, empowerment, empathy, this global sort of fiction. So I'm going to invite some questions from the audience because I figured it would be great to start the dialogue early. So with that, if we can get some question or two. Sure. We have a microphone too.
Do you think there's been a change in empathy among younger audience? I recently gave a talk at CCA to a very small class, and I showed them a video where there was a scorched tricycle from Hiroshima, the bomb, and I asked them to give a rating of 1 to 5 in terms of their how much they were moved by that image, and really nobody gave anything above a 3, which means they really didn't care. So I'm wondering if that's changed, or if it's really just a function of me showing them something they've never seen before.
Well, I think I do not hope that it has changed, but sure, it's a cultural thing. And there are cultures who are not able to show their empathy and who were not educated to show empathy. By the way, I think this is similar for the Chinese people and for Swiss German people, I learned to know. Maybe it's a kind of Protestant religious thing not to show too much, your personal feelings, not to show them. I hope that people have them, but it's a difference to show them or to be able to show them. But well, that would be a research topic, I think. Yeah. But I really don't want to live in a culture where people don't show empathy. If we lose that, for example, rich people don't show empathy. And it's very dull to at a party with rich people. They don't show empathy to anything. And there are some cultures where it's not. And by the way, people who are not able to show empathy, mostly they don't understand irony. But I don't know how a writer is thinking about it. Yeah.
No. One more question. Yeah.
Hi. I hate being the person who says this isn't a question, it's a statement, but I feel pressed to make an exception in this case. You just asked if it's younger people who don't show empathy. You've just shown us 2 films in particular, one of a young man's personal coming out story, and another of a public execution on the streets of the city that I come from. And use them as tools of a media narrative that I, for one, don't particularly buy. How does your appropriation of those people's personal stories and very real, traumatic, visceral events square with an idea that it's younger people who lack empathy today?
Come on, Sheriff. I didn't quite understand it. Sorry, I didn't.
I've lost the mic now. Sorry, that was a conversation about empathy. I think that there was a deep lack of empathy in some of the things you just showed as part of your talk. And I wondered how you could square a perceived lack of empathy in younger people with what I certainly felt was a severe lack of empathy with some of the images and stuff you just used to support your
Okay, I
narrative.
understand. So you think I didn't have empathy with the thing I showed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I do have empathy.
Let's
no,
take
I
one.
do,
Okay.
No, I do have empathy with the online. For example, that's what I call the online confession. Of course, I do have empathy with it. Of course, I do have.
Okay.
All right.
But perhaps you are asking, why are you showing us that intimate confessions or movies or pictures? Perhaps that's your question. And I think it is online, and the guy decided to publish it on YouTube. So it's not. I'm not telling you a secret. So it's on YouTube. Everybody can watch it. Yeah. And of course, I have empathy with the guy, and I can't show that much empathy with the villain who murdered a soldier. But I think it's a very interesting, also confession, and it's a point of view. It's just to show different point of views. Yeah.
Yes. Take one more question. Hey.
So this is a question for both of our speakers. Martin, you gave us that wonderful video of the Cinderella story transmediated over a variety of media, and we see there the Aristotelian dictum that a story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, although they were accomplished in different media at different times and was sort of up to the viewer to put it all together. What do you think the opportunities and prospects are for a narrative arc within a single digital media? Is that becoming obsolete now with hyper-attention and distracted attention and so forth? Are long narrative forms somehow not suited to digital media?
No, they are, but I think that you have to think about the situations of the audience, name it the user, listener, viewer, whatever, where the user is listening or viewing your story or reading your story. So we as listeners, viewers, or readers, we decide in which speed we read or we consume your content. So there are 5 or 7 minute situations in the bus, in public transport. When we wait for somebody or for something, we have 7 minutes left. But in these 7 minutes, we could also read a long form digital tale. That's what I mean. So you need perhaps a lot of chapters for your long form tale. But it could be, it's a long form, but you have to divide it into a lot of chapters. That's what I think.
Well, I think we're gonna see a continuing story throughout today about how some narratives are going to move across media, and we're going to have that sort of play out as one theme. I just want to thank both Martin and Francois for setting some really good questions that's going to bring us through the day, and they will be back on stage for more at 11:50. So please keep your questions handy for that. We're going to take about a 10-minute break now, and we'll have you right back in here. But let's just thank our speakers once again. Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Francois.